Hey guys. Hello, hello, hello. We're here today. It's Sunday, guys. It's Sunday. And I know I got my robe on top of my clothes because it's cold out here. I don't like it cold. And Peppermint. Let's see who was in there. Peppermint and Purple. And Dino. And I'm sure Purple's there. Then Yaya's there. And my sister's sitting over there. She don't want to come on camera. Although she's got makeup on and I don't. So go figure that one out. I don't. No need for me to do makeup because it doesn't make a difference. So, what's everybody up to today? Hey, Savannah, Alicia. It's a Sunday afternoon, guys, and you're just trucking along, trucking along. You know, the title of the live is "You Are Enough," and I think we'll just touch on that real quick. It's just, you know, always remember you're enough, guys. You are. Everybody is. Yeah, we've gotten, we've done a lot and gotten nowhere. I think that's probably the best way to explain the situation with our brother. Every time we think we're going to talk to someone who may fill us in and kind of fill in some of the gaps, it just leaves us with more questions. So I finally told my sister, I'm not going to talk to anybody else. I'm not even going to ask any questions because it just leaves me with more. So, we're jumping through trying to figure out all the things that we have to do. It's, man, I tell you what, guys. Because he wasn't married. He was single, no kids. So then that leaves, the sisters to figure it all out. And we don't have any of it figured out, guys. None of it. Like, he's got a storage unit somewhere. Don't know where. He's got property. Just property, no house or anything. Just a bunch of acreage. But we got to figure all that out. And didn't leave a good paper trail. We're not sure where all his paperwork is. I'm kind of out of ideas of where the paperwork is. I don't know, but
hoping to get answers with his phone.
The what?
Hoping to get some answers with his phone.
Yeah. Once we get his phone, maybe we'll get some answers, but that's being held by the detective and having to go to the lab and all that stuff. So, when maybe, that'll offer something on there. What was it? I found a hand painted rock that says "You Are Enough" when I went to take my kids to the doctor one day. When you turn it around, it tells you to share on Facebook. Oh, that's so sweet, Peppermint. Hey, yeah. Oh, you got home. You didn't stay at Purple's very long. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed your time. Oh, Purple is driving home from the hospital. Hopefully that's just a checkup. Nothing else going on, Purple. I hope not. You tell your husband we're praying for him, thinking about him, well wishes. But yeah, just oh no, Peppermint had a bad day yesterday. Hey, Charlie girl, PJ's wish. Yeah, Peppermint girl, you're enough. You're enough. I'm telling you. It's not easy. I think it's weird. When you hear someone passes, it's bad enough as it is, and then you add on that they took their own life, and it's just kind of like, not saying it makes it worse, it just makes it different. I know for my kids, I think they're having a really hard time understanding why, and why didn't he just pick up the phone? Why didn't he just call? Why didn't, that's what every single one of them keeps saying to me. My adult kids, why didn't he just call? So part of the mental health thing that hard to understand if you're not going through it yourself. And I think, my sister and I had talked about it and said, we'll probably never know why, like a 100% answer as to why, what happened, because I'm so, as she always says, I think logically and I pick things apart, and, I just want the answers of what was the tip, what was the tipping thing, what was the final straw, you know what I mean? And it doesn't really matter why. I don't know why. I feel like I need to know. Like, it's not going to make a difference, right? It's not going to change anything. It's not going to make me miss them any less. It's not going to, you know, it's just that always questioning, I guess, you know. Um, but that's, you know, that's where we're at now. So it's like I said, we've gotten a lot done. We've gotten nowhere. Even doing the cremation was a challenge. Something that should be so easy, but I don't know. I don't know. You know, my sister had called the justice of the peace and tried to explain to him, look, this is where you need to release his body from the coroner's office, and this is where he'll be going, blah blah blah. And some lady was yelling like a maniac in the background, and what, you know. And then they, like an hour and a half later, I don't remember what call it was, because there was so, you know how there's just so many calls going all over the place. Like, I have a notebook that I write everything in. It's a good thing because I wouldn't remember any of it, you know. And I was just like, you could see on there where it's like you're calling this one, this one, this one, and then all of a sudden you're, oh, we're calling somebody else, and you know, writing this stuff down. And you know, so like an hour and a half later or something, somebody had told us that it had been done, that the justice of the peace had called, the judge had called and released the body. So we're like, okay, cool, you know, they did it. No, the next day, you know, funeral people are, you know, contacting saying, hey, the judge still hasn't signed off, can you call? We just called the day before and they still didn't do it. So they finally did it, but I mean, it was just kind of, wow, really, you know. Come on, guys. Yeah, you know, we were actually able to get placed somewhere with his car insurance, so we did get that info, which is good. But just everything else was still pretty much up in the air, and not sure what's, you know, which end is up, and whatever ends up is the way it ends up. You know, we did have to go, and we went to his vehicle and got a lot of the stuff out of his truck, and we had to do, and bring it home and go through it, and there was a lot of stuff in there. So we had a, you know, big old truck with a big old camper on the back, and it was a bunch of stuff in there, and you know, so at least we have some of that stuff, but no mail. No paperwork, because that's what we were really looking for, was, you know, some paperwork to kind of help us out, and no luck, no luck. But just, oh, you just went on the weekend, yeah. Mother's phone she found as like online phone, but he didn't use it. Oh, yeah. See, hey, little devil, Peppermint. We had, we're hoping that the phone will give us more answers. Um, who knows? You know, it'd be just our luck. There'd be nothing in there either. Honestly, that would kind of seems how it's going, but we're hopeful that there's some more info on that, and you know, we'll see. You know, I know we talked to one of his friends who had talked to him the day that, pretty sure the day that it happened, and she didn't have a clue. He didn't. He gave no sign that this was going to happen or occur. And so it was, you know, you hear it a lot where people are like, I just didn't see anything. I didn't see this coming. They're really shocked, you know. And he did that one. Was a shocking part of it, you know. Um, you know. Meanwhile, as they always say, those left behind are the ones that go through it, you know. Hey, passed. Oh, Charlie Girl said she disagrees with us. Whoa, this is a tipping factor here. She said, I disagree. You've done the most important thing of all. You've been together to support, love, and help each other, begin to heal. All the rest will fall into place. So glad God made a way for it. Yeah, that's true, Charlie Girl. I would not be as good off. My sister is my strength, guys. She was my strength. When I had to go to, where did I go the other, oh, a doctor's appointment. And she wasn't with me, and I cried the whole way there and the whole way home. And I told her, you're my strength. When I'm with you, it's okay. It's not as bad. But it's been great to have her here. And she does leave and go back home because she misses her family terribly as well. So she leaves and goes back home in a couple days. So yeah, we've done what we can, and it's a long road. There's still more to sure we're gonna have to deal with and to do, and um, do what?
It'll keep coming at us.
Oh yeah, it will. That's life. It just I wish that people who did this understood it's the wave of hurt is left behind for everyone else. Hey Iris, she said she's driving home. Peppermint said she's dealing with depression herself. It's a fight to live, to be honest. Oh, Peppermint, don't want to hurt anyone. You don't want to hurt anyone by leaving. Exactly. But Peppermint, there's not. I personally don't think there's anything that bad in life that you can't work through it. That's my personal opinion. And I personally do believe that my brother is in heaven and he is free and he's in a good place for him now. But I don't think that it's the answer, because you do leave just a whole flood of pain behind for others, and it is. I think if he had stopped to think about that, like just our kids, how bad our kids hurt from it, I think he probably would have thought twice about it. I do, but maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, just know it's never the answer. That you got people who love you. Jump on call and we will talk to you. Whatever, just listen. Because sometimes I think people just need somebody to just sit and listen and not even say a word. Just knowing that somebody's there. Just know that you have people there, Peppermint. You know that. Charlie Girl says, beautiful sister Iris. Iris is on her way home. Oh, it's from church, probably. From church. You got anything you want to say, Makeup Girl? You're getting all beautified over there. What are you doing?
I feel like putting on makeup.
Oh my God, that's so pretty. I mean, you look pretty without it, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything I can think about saying.
I'm just rambling on. Just rambling on. Yeah. It's definitely a different way of life now, different. And it's kind of sad when you think I don't know, I guess for some reason I thought I had found all the pictures on my phone, and we were going through more pictures last night of our kids and stuff, and there's more pictures. And I was like, oh, there's look, there he is, Christmas time, and that's probably his last picture of Santa, and I know I have a picture of him because he was a big guy, and this is probably about 10 years ago or so. Let's see, no, about 6 or 8 years ago, I guess. 8 years probably. I'm trying to think how old my 14-year-old was. Anyhow, we had him dressed up as Santa, and he went in and pretending to, put the gifts down. So we were snapping pictures, and I accidentally had the pictures on my, left open on the phone in the morning for the kids, and oh, Santa Claus came. He was here. You spotted him. One of my other kids, that's Uncle Waylon. Not Uncle Waylon. What are you talking about? And I remember him sitting there laughing, just I thought it was funny. He played Santa that year. I know I have a picture of him somewhere. Dropping the presents down. I'll find it though. Hey, Amy. What else y'all? What are y'all doing today? What are y'all doing? You know, while livening up over here because it's kind of a gloomy day. It's been gloomy here the last how many days?
Few.
Yeah,
4 days.
3 or 4 days. We've got a lot of rain and just overcast and ucky.
Been a little cool at night.
Yeah, cold, freezing.
Been in the hot tub. It's
the only way you can warm up and get your joints warm. Sit in the hot tub, get warmed up for a minute. It's, you know, anybody decorating for Christmas yet? Hey, True smiles. You said hi.
Hello.
I didn't decorate last year. My kids were reminding me of that the other day. They said, Mom, you only put one Christmas tree up last year. You didn't do hardly any. Because my mom had just passed away. So, you know, this year I was like, well, you know, we'll do a little more. Now I'm really not feeling it. I really don't want to, but I know I need to because my kids, the grandbabies are older. Although I still technically could get away with using that excuse of not putting all the Christmas stuff out because they are still, you know, they're 1.5 and 2, so they still grab a lot of stuff. You know, I could use that excuse as to why not get everything out and decorate because we do way too much stuff. I mean, how many trees do we have in the house, Gloria? 7. 2 of them are small, but all the rest of them are, yeah, 7 trees in the house. And we usually do 2 or 3 out in the Santa workshop thing. And then all the other crap we put out. The village alone takes days, guys. Oh, gosh.
You've got a big house.
Oh, gosh. I don't know what to do with this year either. Tell you the truth. I kind of like the one tree with very little decorations on it.
Decorate before Thanksgiving?
Usually do, but Thanksgiving is coming up. And, because, you know, what goes up must come down. So I always have to think about taking everything down, too.
I want to get a smaller tree.
Well, I've got smaller trees. I mean, we've got different sizes, but I just,
I've got a huge tree. I just want to.
yeah. But, you know, could do it. Maybe if I do it, it'll feel better, you know? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Anybody else decorate yet? I don't. Some people have. We've got neighbors that have Christmas lights out and stuff already. You got their house all lit up, you know? And I'm like, ooh. And usually we do start October, towards the end of October, very beginning of November, we start with the yard because the yard's massive. A lot of stuff out there. And we haven't done that. So I'm kind of wondering, my husband hasn't even mentioned anything about decorating outside this year. I'm wondering if he's planning on it or not. And I'm supposed to always be in charge of the inside decorations, which entails me doing the decorating and putting everything up. Basically, no help there, right? But I'm supposed to do the inside and he's supposed to do the outside. Y'all know. Y'all, come on. Y'all know how that works, right? And then he says, well, just go put everything where you want it. I'll do all the electric. He's the electrician. He has to plug it in, you know. It just tells you how bad it is, guys. Our Christmas lights have their own electrical box. That's how bad it is. He's got a big old thing set up out there in its own unit, so we have a separate electric bill just for the Christmas lights. That's bad. That's how much of a freak he is about Christmas. So either way, though, he's going to drag me out there and have to go do the outside too. Man. I haven't even gotten Thanksgiving dinner stuff together yet. So I'm running behind this year, y'all. Because Thanksgiving is what? When is Thanksgiving? Is it not this coming Thursday, but the next Thursday? So like less than 2 weeks? I did get cranberry sauce when Ocean Spray cranberry sauce was on sale for 99 cents. I did grab 5 cans of that a couple weeks ago. But that's the extent I've gotten to on Thanksgiving dinner. So I probably should do that pretty soon, huh? I don't know. My daughter did text me the other day. Mom, what time are you doing Thanksgiving dinner? Are you going to do it on Thursday? So, because when you have older kids that have partners, spouses, whatever, then you have to deal with the other family. So we try to kind of coordinate and schedule it around. We try. We're more flexible because, it's us and we just, say what time we'll have dinner. So if they're going to visit their in-laws, they just tell me what time and it's fine, we'll do it after that, So, and if they come here in the evening time, then we get them for a longer period of time because they can stay the night. So we get them for a lot longer. So it's like, you go ahead, y'all do yours early afternoon, that's fine. We'll have the fun party because we do games and stuff like that, and talk and hang out. So, Peppermint's doing her tree this year. Oh, hey, Latoya Williams, welcome in, honey. Yeah, this channel's pretty much a lot about nothing, pretty much. On this one, we just chat and talk about whatever it is we want to talk about. And we do, it's Coffee Talk with Shining Survivors because a lot of us have been through a lot of abusive situations in life. So a lot of us in here are kind of united with that. But welcome in. Hopefully you enjoy. So we just sit and chat. Today's kind of blip day. But I do have to go make some homemade fabric softener. I'm going to try it, guys. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It says it's supposed to work. It says it's supposed to be easy. I already got a big old 5-gallon bucket of laundry soap. I did the powdered stuff this time. Got a couple kiddos who prefer the liquid, but my son wanted me to do the powder, so I did a bunch of that. And it smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
My sister said she's going to take some home. You got big old baggies in there. I just hope the airport doesn't think it's anything, We could always do it and then put it in another bag of coffee grounds so they'll think it's you're smuggling something.
I'll just make some when I get home.
That'd be terrible. They'll get you. They'll get you for something. Where's Charlie girl at? She was in here. We got the dogs out here doing stuff. I don't know what Khaleesi's doing.
There's Grandma.
She's standing there.
There's Grandma D. She just popped in.
Hey, Grandma D. Say what? What?
Oh, there's Grandma D and there's Jenna.
Jenna, I don't see Jenna.
She just popped in.
Oh, there she is. Hey, Jenna, what are you doing today? You want the link? Oh, you can grab the link, though. You can grab the link. We were just chatting. Pretty much, not a whole lot. It's a quiet day. Quiet day. Oh, I know something we can address. Should we, though?
It's up to you. If you, I don't know what it is. Have no idea.
Okay. We had, we try not to do drama on this channel. That's something that we just try to relax and stuff like that. But I will address this issue. We had a situation, a subscriber, a panel guest that was on another channel. It was discovered after we had some people who heard this individual on someone else's live, and it was very triggering to say the least. and this ties into this channel. It actually does. Okay. Very triggering what he was saying. Basically, having a victim who had been AR'd, putting it at their feet. It was their fault, the way they dressed. They were asking for it. They wanted to be treated this way, blah, 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 blah. All the while, it was a child that was being referred to in this particular person's situation. So it was discovered because of the way that the talk was going on. It was very, nope, something's not right here. So that led them to go, like, we need to find out who this person is. Because not knowing is one thing, it's what you do after you know the info. And it was discovered that he is an SRO. It's not a very nice situation at all. So it was exposed, so to speak. My personal opinion is that everyone needs to know who this person is and what he's about, or she, whoever it is. When you find out something like that, because they're a danger. If you hurt a child that kind of way, no, I don't care when it was. I don't care. We need to look up the current statistics and facts on this. But my sister was saying a while ago she had heard that by the time that you get your first one, you're found guilty of it. You usually have about 50. All right, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. You're echoing.
Am I bad?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me go out. Come back in.
Okay. You usually have 50 victims before you're caught. Statistic. And that was a couple years ago. So we were talking about saying we need to really look on and find the new ones. Personally, I feel like it needs to be exposed. I don't care who you are. And when it was brought to our door, so to speak, because this is a group of us who are supportive of the main channel that he was going to. That's where our home base is, so to speak. Okay. Yeah, we felt like, hey, we need to put this out there because we had done it with another creator that we had found out about. We had her.
Am I going now?
You have headphones in? Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but it's a problem with the system. You got to put your headphones in. Do you have your headphones?
No. I can go get on my laptop in a minute. I'm just smoking right now.
Okay, see if that'll work. But I know it keeps saying on mine that you have to have your headphones because there's a glitch in there, and they're working on fixing it.
Okay, well, I'll just stay on mute right now.
Okay, well, remember yesterday when I went and got on your panel, I was echoing?
Yes, that's how I sound.
Yeah. But you're muting, you're doing a good job. Look, she's doing a really good job with that mute button. So anyhow, this situation was exposed because, in our little group here, we do have SA victims and that kind of thing. And so, we're in on it. We're all for exposing it and letting people know, hey, this is who this guy is. Now, during this expo, if you will, there was a particular person who came in and for some reason needs to insert themselves every time. This is not the first time they've inserted themselves on this very subject matter, very same subject matter. Last time we had our CJ Mack was confronting Fat Dan, who, if you know about Fat Dan, he's a child. I'm not going to say it because if he's not had a conviction on him yet, I don't know, but there's a lot of video that we have that he's not a very nice person and targets children. You know the drill. So when CJ Mack was trying to, she's calling him out because once we found out about this guy, nope, he's not going to come in here anymore, block him, blah, blah, blah. But she had requested, give me one shot at him. I want him, if he's going to come on panel, I want to go talk to him. Well, during the talk, then this KK gets up on panel and actually tells CJ Mack to shut up. Okay. Not very cool. So last night, KK decides she's going to go in Jenna's as this is all kicking off and being exposed, and she's taking up for this guy, telling him to drop down. So I had told her, go to your panel if you want to look like a fool. That's on you. But we're not going to stand by this. You go right on ahead and go on your way. And she did. She really did. I was like, okay. And apparently she was really calling out CJ and saying how horrible we were, that we exposed this. It should have been kept behind closed doors. And KK, no, sweetie, that doesn't get closed behind closed doors. I don't care if you think he's done his time. I'm not really sure how much time would be enough for somebody who's done some stuff like that. But I know that that child's life, her sentence is for life. And I don't care if you think that we were in the wrong. I really don't care. I do not think we were in the wrong, and I will always stand by that and say we're okay. I think it was kind of wrong to go insert yourself with something you had nothing to do with, because you don't even hang out at Purple's anymore where all this transpired and happened, okay? You don't even hang out over there, so what worry is it of yours anyways? You don't have anything to do with it. You're not even there. You weren't affected or involved with him at all, right? We all were involved with him because he was up on the panel. So you're entitled to your own opinion, and that's fine. Just as well as CJ Mack and everybody else is entitled to their opinion.
Well, not only that, we were involved in a Discord with him as well.
Some people were. Some people were. I was not. I wasn't part of it. I don't think. I don't know. I never had any run-ins with him in Discord, personally. I just didn't really talk to the guy. But that's me. But yeah, we definitely had a leg to stand on that one. It's just kind of disappointing to see that anybody would think that that needs to be dealt with behind closed doors. I don't understand. That to me is what that looks like to me. What I'm seeing here, the pattern of behaviors, is that there's something to hide. You don't want people to be exposed because maybe you don't want to be exposed about something. Don't know. That just kind of seems that's how it's coming across. You're defending these people, that are going after children. It's not going to make sense to me, so I'm not even going to say make that make sense, because it doesn't, and it won't.
It makes no sense to me at all.
No, and like I said, to me, it looks like you're guilty of doing something yourself because you're tired of people getting exposed. And are you worried that somebody's going to expose something on you? I mean, that's where my mind goes, and I'm wondering, because why else would somebody defend somebody who's hurting children? Don't know on that one. But of course, this is also someone who called 911 about a fake purse that she herself sold. All I can say on that one is wow. Wow. Let me call 911 because I sold somebody a purse that I said was authentic, but it wasn't. It was fake.
And the one that I said was fake was authentic.
It was real. But I don't understand that. And KK, what the hell are you doing? Calling 911 for that? Sweetie, while you had that 911 operator tied up about your damn purse scandal situation. And I don't know because I wasn't listening. I'm just being told this. I'm wondering if you told the police officer how you colored them too and sent colored purses out. Did you tell him that too? But while you had the police officers, the dispatch tied up on that phone call, I'm wondering how many other calls were necessary because they needed police assistance.
Police, ambulance,
Somebody could need life-saving, but they're on a phone call about a purse that you sold somebody, even though you're not a salesman, but newsflash, KK, when you sell something, you're then a salesperson. Okay?
So then
Um,
you send the money back even though she didn't request it and demand your product back. That is now her personal property because she purchased it. Most sales are final.
even if you refund it. Personally, I would have been tempted if I was Yaya to keep the money and say, you kicked it back. But I understand the right thing is, to return the money. I just don't understand a 911 call for that.
Well,
I don't understand that
very
either.
limited. Putting the 911 dispatcher said to her, that's a matter for the magistrate.
Call the magistrate's office.
Okay, yes, see, dumbass, you have taken up an emergency line.
Where's the emergency here? Is this Yaya Warrior Sisterhood? Is she still trying to scam you for more purses, or?
Well, and 911 is not the proper place to call for legal advice. Or to settle a dispute. And certainly not a YouTube drama dispute.
Yeah. I don't understand that. That officer told her she was wrong, and I have never said I would report her. Yeah, you should report her. She needs to be reported to someone. We need to report a 5155. 5155, please. Yeah, it's pretty low, Savannah. I think so. Marin said, I might as well use my degree. I told my daughter, and she literally cried. She thought I was messing with her because she knows I have social anxiety and I've only worked from home the last 11 years. Oh, she was looking for a job. Oh, yeah, Peppermint. Yeah, that's true. So, yeah. But honestly, to me, it's looking like it's her who is that. That's how I see it. I mean, anybody else see it like that? Like, why are you so supportive? You see it too, Jenna?
Yeah,
why are you so supportive? You're so supportive of
I just gotta
this.
get my headphones. I think my computer's
Well,
dead.
it's
So
almost like
Yeah, grab the headphones. It should fix it. It did on that. I don't know what the problem is there. It's a glitch, though.
it's almost like okay, she states that this should have been dealt with offline, but that to me sounds like
Brushing it under the rug.
under the carpet.
Mhm.
It's just
Hide it. Let's not talk
Hide it.
about it. Don't expose it. And KK, I stand on this every day. I don't care. People like that need to be exposed.
and there's a few out there. They are so preoccupied with their hate for Jenna, for Purple, for our side. And this isn't a matter for anyone to fight over.
No.
Some of the trolls were making the most ignorant comments.
Yeah.
As usually they do. But
Exactly. Well, it's just like we said before when we had that issue with Fat Dan. It doesn't matter what quote unquote side you're on, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. It doesn't matter what side you're on. I don't give a crap who you like, who you support, who you're against, whatever. Okay. When it comes to this subject matter, everyone I feel should be united on that because you're either for or against. If you're for hurting children, then you see your way out. I don't give a crap who you are. But if you're, to me, it should be like one of those, commonalities everybody has. That should be one thing that everybody does stand united on. Put your YouTube bullshit aside and then say, hey, you know what? You're right. We need to make sure that, you know, when this is found out, that you call it out. Do not give him any access to hurt somebody else. Because in Discord, we know in Discord sometimes, depending on the Discord, you know, they all run different. And sometimes people put pictures of their families in there or, you know, whatever. I personally, I don't want anything to do with somebody like that. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be in a chat with them. I don't want to. Once I know, and I can't unknow it. No, I'm not going to like him. No, I'm not going to be his friend. Period.
Okay,
There you
I'm
go.
good.
That's
I'm
much
good.
better.
Someone also
Bluetooth
made a
then.
statement. Why do you have so many sex offenders on your channel? Well, any public platform, YouTube, there you have, it's an anonymous thing. You don't
Mhm.
know everybody's
I love you
details.
too, baby.
You don't dig into everybody. There is freedom of speech. In fact, YouTube does allow RSOs to have a platform. They do allow them to have channels,
Mhm.
as long as they are not showing anything illegal or promoting something illegal.
Yeah,
So,
which is fine. But just as well as they're able to have their own platform, we're able to have our own platforms. And what we decide as individual creators and individual subscribers, you know, what we don't want to tolerate and have around us, then that's the way it is. That is up to us. We have just as much right to say no. You're not going to be over here, as he's got a right to do whatever he wants to do.
there's a difference between allowing someone on your channel if you have no knowledge of being a RSO
Exactly.
than allowing someone on the channel after you know.
Exactly. That's why I said it's not what you don't know, it's what you do know and how you handle it. And exactly what we did, soon as we found out, it was gotten together, there's confirmations that were done. We didn't just get one person saying, hey, this guy did this, okay? Let's make sure we make that clear. Okay? Not a one person who was involved in the situation and who knew. Not one person said, oh, let's go expose right now, this very second, without verifying. And it didn't take long to verify, guys. So we're talking just a little section of time, you know, less than 10 hours by the time it was discovered until it was being exposed. But to make sure that, you know, hey, we don't have the wrong person here, that, you know, because the last thing you want to do is go and falsely accuse somebody of being something like that. And that's a horrible thing to be, let alone to falsely accuse someone. So there were those steps that were taken that were, we need to make sure this is who it is, you know, okay. And then everybody who was in on this, and I'm not going to put names out there or anything. I wouldn't do that to anybody, but it was a pretty good sized group. Everybody was in agreement. Everybody looked over the information, and, you know, everybody put their heads together and making sure that, you know, this is right and this is correct. And sure enough, it was. And as you could see, the guy came up and admitted to all of it anyways, you know. So it, you know, it was thought out and made sure that we tried to do it the best way that we could, being thorough, right? And we're lucky to have some of those people on our quote unquote team, whatever you want to call it, because everybody has valuable things that they're bringing into it. And that's really awesome. I love that everybody's got their own thing and they're like, hey, this, you know. You know, it was exposed, because that's always what we've said before, that we would take that stand and expose it, let people know, because you do have children you need to protect, grandchildren, whoever it is. And I will continue to do that, KK. I don't give a crap what you think or what anybody else thinks. Like I said, if I stand alone, I will still do it. It doesn't matter to me. I don't think people like that should be allowed any access to children, ever. Ever. So, you know, the best way to do that is,
address it today.
Yeah,
awareness.
yeah. I don't think they should ever have the access to children on any kind of level. Okay. And if that means you calling them out, then you call them out. People need to be aware because when you don't know, you are putting children in jeopardy unknowingly. Because I think most people, although I wonder about some people, I do wonder about some people, KK. When I see those actions, I just wonder, you're not about protecting children. And I don't give a, I don't give a fuck if you think that he needs protection. I'll tell you who needed protection, KK. It was that 13-year-old girl he did that shit to. That's who needs protection. And any other child out there, they need our protection. We're the adults in the situation. We are the ones who are supposed to protect these children, right? I mean,
Well, the law doesn't completely do it. We need stiffer laws. You ruin that child's life, and
right.
you get 6 years of probation and the opportunity to violate that probation, and the opportunity to, in return, victimize more children. Whether you target them from someone's Discord or there's just ample opportunity on a public platform because of that you could be there anonymously.
Yeah. Brush it under the carpet. Take it behind closed doors.
So
No, KK, that's where that shit happens, is behind closed doors. We ain't got room for closed doors around here. That's how I look at it. She put a community code. Oh, company. Hey, Cinnamon Hot. I'm probably missing stuff. Oh no, Charlie Girl's phone died. KK put a community post. Oh, company. What was it about? Oh gosh. Please tell me she didn't put a community post up. Still in support of that. Please tell me she didn't. Hey, Psychosocial. Oh man. Yeah, Savannah. We can't. I mean, checking people out when they come up on panel. I mean, you can't go and do a background check on every single person who comes on panel. I mean, nobody does that. Nobody does that, guys. I mean, I guess you just wouldn't have anybody come up on panel. It's the only way you'd be secure enough to never have a bad person.
Never be able to have an open panel.
Never could.
You have to keep your panel closed.
Yeah, because we know these creeps are out there in our midst. When you go to the grocery store, the person who's, grabbing a loaf of bread right there next to you could be one. We don't know. But again, it's once you do know. And when you go and you run your mouth and you're saying inappropriate things that make people go, wait a minute, this sounds really creepy.
Yaya says there were other people looking into him.
Oh.
It wasn't just our little
See?
channel.
No. The thing about it is I found out last night that he's been looked into for over a year and a half now.
Well, how come we hadn't heard nothing about it? Is it KK telling everybody to go shut up and don't even talk about it? Is that what happened, KK?
I don't know. AC, the shit show, he messaged me last night and I went to a live and he sent me the channel that was talking about it. Obviously, they've been looking at it for a year and a half. They thanked us for exposing it. Now, when we say exposing it, it's not like we exposed it immediately. We made sure it was him. So, because we're not going to false identify and put that label on anybody. So we made sure it was him before we did it. So
yeah, because I mean, we're talking what?
These people getting mad.
10, 12 hours, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of research. It was a lot of research.
Yeah,
that
from the time it came out. Yeah, and it was like, okay, hold on, we've got to make sure absolutely it's him. It's okay. It's looking like it is, but Yeah, because that's a horrible thing to falsely accuse somebody of that.
Right.
That would never want to do that. But it was like, nope, it's got to be done right now. And Purple said too, as soon as she heard, she was like, nope, you expose it now. So as soon as you
Right.
know everything's verified, you got to let it out.
Right.
And that's just, whether people want to, say it's theatrical, it's dramatic or whatever. No, you need to expose it and let people know so that they're protected as well. Because no matter how
Because this
much
guy-
you don't like the other side,
Right.
you everyone needs to be protected against somebody like that.
You're exactly right.
just
And
my
I
opinion.
think that people who are going against this needs to really look at their self and see, what am I doing? Because I'm sorry, I'm for saving children. That's like, I don't care. I would rather expose than not know. Even if you dislike me, tell me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't have to like somebody to let them know, hey, you've got a predator amongst your midst, because that's something I still wouldn't even I would not wish that on my worst enemy, and honestly, I don't look at people as like an enemy anyways, but I'm just saying, it's like, even the
Right.
person who hates you the most, I don't care. I don't want your child to possibly be affected by this, your grandchild, any child. You got to have enough respect for each other to understand that and to put your bullshit aside and say, okay, you know what? Forget all the YouTube bullshit, any platform
Right.
drama crap, right? This is real. That little girl who went through that was very real for her.
Right.
And
it was.
any other child that he's probably done something to, I don't know. Because there's a whole lot of things that happen that never get reported that are never found out. Or years later, they're found out, We know how it goes. We know how the statistics are. There's children who are too scared to talk. They're too ashamed to talk. They don't, they've got them so manipulated that they think they'll kill my parents if I say anything. That kind of, the whole situation of
Oh
it.
yeah, I know. Believe me.
And it's how many other victims are out there? You never know. If you've got one,
Right.
really, just one. And I don't want any child to be a victim of that. So if it means that we, if we can say something, anybody can say something and expose something and maybe prevent, hey, you know what, you're aware of this person now, then maybe there won't be an interaction between him and a child over there or something. You know what I mean? Anywhere. So in a perfect world, none of this would ever happen. In a perfect world, it would never happen.
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't live in that perfect world. There's no utopia here like that on Earth.
Right. I just, not too long. You're actually my first live I went to today. So I haven't been on YouTube, but I've been receiving a lot of messages about people saying a lot of bad things about what happened yesterday. I will go live later and address these things. I won't do it on your panel.
Negatively about being exposed?
Yeah, negatively about being exposed. Yes. I've been getting messages, and I just got them.
And
Hey everybody. And
And
they were going at us for exposing him. There's been a lot of little videos put out changing the target. I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with the target. This has something to do with doing what's right.
Yeah, that's so. See, to me, that's so sick of me. You know what? You're entitled to your opinion. We all are, right?
Right.
It just again solidifies to me who I want to surround myself with and who I don't.
Right.
And we're all okay with that. You could not want to be around me because I am standing up for a child and saying this is bullshit. No. That's okay.
Right.
Because I stand up for what I believe, and I'm steadfast in that. I'm steadfast in what my beliefs are. No one on the YouTube streets or any other streets of any kind are going to convince me that I should not stand for children and try to protect them at all costs.
Right.
So You know, they can say whatever they want. They can sit there and say, you're wrong, you're wrong. Huh.
I
I
did
guess
watch
it,
KK's live yesterday before
oh,
she
really?
privatized it.
I just heard about some of the stuff.
I think that she really lost it yesterday. I want her to understand that she's not the only victim, but it's okay for her to heal. I think she was angry. She was fussing, saying some nasty stuff, but you know, there's a lot of people that are victims of SA. And most of the
Yeah.
victims wanted to expose this.
Well, um, you know, this is what I mean, if you're a victim and you're not the perpetrator, okay? Because to me, when you take up for an SRO, whether it's against, it doesn't matter who it's against, okay?
Right.
But in this particular situation, we're talking about a child. When you take up for people like that, to me, it makes it look like you're part of the SRO community. It really
Right.
does. So, you know, if you don't want to be part of the exposing someone like that, then step down, and that's fine. You don't have to be. But you obviously don't have a problem coming in and defending an SRO and telling people you're wrong for exposing that.
Yeah, baby.
No, no. What's wrong is not wanting to protect the child or the children that could be subjected to him. To me, that's what's wrong. To me, it's wrong to sit there and say, let's brush it under the carpet, deal with it behind closed doors. That's wrong. If you don't want to be part of that, then don't be any part of it. You don't come over and insert yourself, and you want to say that everybody else has a godlike mentality. But I'm sorry, when you come over and you come over to somebody else's chat, which you have nothing to do with, because, you know, you just, oh, you're too good for them, right? Because they're horrible, and you got to point out how horrible they are all the time. Who the hell do you think you are to go and tell somebody else what they should and shouldn't talk about? That's a godlike mentality. I'm not sitting here telling you what you should and shouldn't talk about. Have I said that at all? Maybe I have. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just telling you what I will talk about, what I can talk about, and I will continue to talk about. That doesn't mean that I think I have a godlike mentality. The godlike mentality falls on you, who thinks you should go to somebody else's channel and tell them what they should and shouldn't do. So you can step on back with your bullshit. I ain't doing it. Nope. I don't think so. It's just it's mindset like that that breeds this kind of crap and continues it to go on. You allow for that to seep in. You're covering for the perpetrator. I don't understand that one, Jenna. Do you? I do not understand that one at all.
I don't understand it either. Like I said, you're live. I just got on. So
yeah, I hadn't really paid attention if there's. I don't know if there's anything else been out. I don't know. People may be clipping it and going against what we did all day long. I don't really care. You know, you know, I guess it's true. How, you know, people do stand up for what they think is right, and they do get bombarded sometimes where people are like, oh, you don't talk about it, don't talk about it, don't do this, don't do that. But it's those who make the noise to make change, or that's how you get change made, right? Squeaky wheel gets the oil. If you want change to occur, you want things to stop, you have to stand up and you have to say something. You have to expose it, period. It's okay, KK. You do you, boo. You do you. You know?
Right, Charlie?
What did Charlie Girl say? My chat keeps freezing.
She said, listen up, Sims. If calling out 6 SOBs that have abused a child is wrong, I don't want to be right ever. These ambassadors gave up their right to protect when they made the decision. When they made the decision they made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. They made the choice to offend. They made those choices to do that. The child did not.
Right.
And thank goodness for, you know, the child's parents who didn't brush it under the carpet and not have it be turned in and exposed. You know? It strikes me, people like that strike me, this kind of reaction to it, right? Those kind of people strike me as the ones that it would happen to their child and they would not contact the police. They would not turn it in. Oh, keep this in the family kind of thing. We don't want the exposure out. We don't want people looking at us like there's something wrong with us. Sweetie, there is something wrong. There's something seriously wrong when somebody hurts a child. There's something seriously wrong. That's no reflection on anyone else. It's a reflection on them. But the reflection that comes is when you sit there and you take up for people like that. That's when you look guilty as hell. In my eyes. And it seems how we can sit here and judge people. I guess we could sit and judge too then, right? So I'm letting you know you look guilty as hell in my eyes. Yes, Savannah, I didn't think they were either. Allowed to have access to the internet. Yep.
I didn't think they were allowed either, but some people say they are.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't have any personal experience with that. I've never been on that end where, no, I don't have that. I don't have to report to people and know what I can and cannot do. I am able to go and get a job wherever I'd like and work with children or old people or young people. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, I don't have a record, so there's that. So I don't know the ins and outs because it's, I know some here and there, like we all can, right? But each state is different. Each case is different, and that's where you end up having to dig in and really get into the rabbit holes of, well, this case, this is how this went down. This is how the judge ruled on this and said this and da 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 da. Each case is different. I don't know. That's right, Cinnamon Hot Hot. The whole reason for SRO public list is to make it public and protect future victims from becoming victims. Say that again, Cinnamon. Say that again. Look at that. Say that again. For some of the people in the back that don't seem to understand why somebody may call that out. Yeah, you may not understand why. And you know what's sad is when all this was, there was all that, the call was going on about verifying and making sure this is who it was, and discussion of all, hey, okay, this is okay, we need to do this or whatever. When all that was going on, I had my 7-year-old daughter and my 2-year-old granddaughter were running around right in front of me, and all I could do is just look at them and go, "You're the reason why I stand for this so strong." And it could have been any little girl in front of me, or any little boy, any child, But I'm just looking and I'm like, yep, And then when I think about it, it really enrages me to think that one of my children or grandchildren could be hurt like that, and people like KK would defend the asshole. That enrages me. That really does. I think about my nieces and nephews, the kids that my kids go to school with, any child, that you would defend that. Nope, never makes sense to me. I'll never be able to wrap my head around it, guys. Never. Yes, psychosocial it was. Yeah, it was. So, it wasn't something that was, it was bad. And I just don't understand how anybody can do that. Whatever. You do you, KK. You judge us over here on these few channels that stand up and say this person did that and da 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 da. We're going to protect children and this whatever, You go right on ahead and you go protect the other one. You go protect the predator. Because I'm telling you, it says a whole hell more a lot about you than it does any of us. And it's really sad to see that anybody would stand up and defend that and support that.
And her community page, I just read it, most of it, where she's saying, do you think everyone that's accused is guilty? He was found guilty in a court of law, period. So it's not an opinion of whether he's guilty or not. He actually took a plea bargain and pled guilty. Admits on a panel that he had sex with said 13-year-old. That is, just what she said in that community post is abhorrent, disgusting. Yes, she said there's 3 sides to every story, but it was settled in a court of law.
Yeah.
Those sides were heard.
Well, what you're saying there is that even if you're in a court of law found guilty, they still may not be guilty, right? Again, to me, that shouts out there's something on me that I'm saying I'm not guilty of, and I was falsely found guilty. That's what that sounds to me. Does it not sound like that to you?
Sounds like that to me. And
So
it's
making
people that are wrongly accused of things, and there are people that do serve time for murder, for example, that they didn't commit.
Mm-hmm.
But he had the chance to fight, and he chose a plea bargain, which is admitting guilt, so that you don't have to suffer a longer term or harsher punishment. It's a way out, and
he admitted to it.
Even on that panel, right. He admitted.
Yeah.
After his wife said he didn't.
Yeah.
He went right ahead and said, "Well, I did. I had sex with her."
Yeah. He admitted to it, KK. He admitted to it, KK. So you keep right on standing up and defending somebody who admitted to SR on a 13-year-old. Good for you, KK. Good for you. But we're the ones with the godlike mentality around here. KK,
she's
please, man.
Saying that we was wrong for calling it out. That's
I don't care if
what
she
she
thinks
was
we're
saying.
wrong. She's entitled to her opinion, and that's just fine.
True.
You're entitled to that. Just as we are entitled to our opinion that we did the right thing.
Right.
And we'll continue to do it.
I think we did the right thing. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I'm telling you right now, if somebody brought over someone to my home, subjected me to a person that they knew was an SRO, that they went after children or adult, doesn't matter who they go after, right? But they knew willingly, brought them over and subjected my children to someone like that.
Right.
I would probably not speak to them anymore. They would not be invited into my home anymore.
You're exactly right.
And, I take that in all aspects of life. I don't care if it's YouTube is supposed to be a fun platform, just, there's drama, there's whatever. I mean, there's just all kinds of avenues. But when it comes to this, it's not just fun anymore. It is something that I don't want them around me on anywhere I go in life. I do not want someone around me. I don't want anybody around my children like that. So you can think we're wrong. That's fine. Go right on ahead. Think we're wrong. Go over your page. Keep blasting out that we're wrong. Because KK, I don't watch your page. I hear people say, she said this, da 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 da.
Yeah, I watched it.
Most of the time it elicits an eye roll. If I hear stuff about her, I just kind of roll my eyes and move along.
Yeah.
This is a different matter.
Yeah.
This is a little different.
Yeah. KK, we tolerated you coloring purses on Alive. Tolerated you coming up there to sell your purses. You go and spew your positivity and blah, 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 blah.
Well, I got a question. Where's her positivity now? She has none.
Oh,
she's angry on the inside.
She is very angry. But,
I understand we all go through things in life, But it's no reason to be that angry.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? I don't even know. I'm just picturing her just mad coloring those purses, you know, getting her frustration out. Just, you know, but, you know, this is one thing we don't have to tolerate, KK, is you coming into somebody else's chat demanding
Right.
anything from anybody. And I will tell you this, I have never gone into anyone else's chat demanding they do anything.
Right.
It's not my place. I don't really care, you know. If I don't
You
like
can't
what's
growl
going on
chat.
that, yeah, if I don't like what's going on, I dip out. I leave because the only thing I have control over is myself and how I react to things and what I subject myself to. And if I don't like it, then I see my way out. I don't have to keep watching it. And I
Right.
definitely don't have to insert myself in anything or tell them what they should and shouldn't do on their channel.
Look at Nikki's comment. I bet
What
she
did
didn't
Nikki
stay in the
say?
lines last night. She said, I bet she
See,
didn't stay in the lines last night. She sure didn't.
no, she didn't, did she? Yeah, I saw a little thing where he said, it's been taken care of. Cool. Yeah, she didn't need to be in there last night. No, she can go bye-bye. Crazy.
And the
Yeah.
cinnamon there is exactly right.
What did Cinnamon say?
Yeah, I was going to say the same
He
thing.
said the whole reason for an RSO public list is to make it public and protect future victims.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it highlighted, the one I have highlighted of
when
it.
you
Yeah.
have highlighted it.
And that's true. I mean, they're out there for a reason.
They are.
They're absolutely out there so that those who we are aware are predators. We're aware that they are. There's a whole lot of people, and see, you know, the list to me really doesn't mean a whole lot if you're only protecting your children against those people on the list. Because there's people who've never been caught, there's people who've never offended, and they're going to do it the first time. Those are the people I really worry about. Like, they scare the hell out of me, right? So the people who are on that list, it's great because you have knowledge. Keep your child away from there, right? It's the same thing on the YouTube streets or any media platform. I say YouTube because that's where we're currently at. If you don't have that list put out there of who a predator is, you know, it's the same principle, same thing, you know, and they do put those out there so that people have the knowledge. Beware of this person. If it wasn't an issue, let's put it like this way. KK and anyone who supports this kind of stuff, you know, if he wasn't still having to register on the registry, you may have a little bit more leg to stand on, I suppose. Maybe he wouldn't have been found out if he wasn't on the registry still. But the fact is, he is. So I'm not sure how you're crucifying anyone for exposing something that is very public knowledge. You can go to any place in the United States, and every single place that I know of anyways, maybe there's some little place that doesn't, but even out here, I live out in the country, in the middle of nowhere land, and we still have a list out here. You can go and see where they're at. And I can go anywhere in the state that I live, and I mean, it's a whole thing. You just go in there, and it'll show all the way. And I live in a huge state. I live in Texas, okay? I live in Texas, guys. You can go onto this app, and you can look at it all, public information, and you can go through the whole state of Texas and see every registered offender. You see the date that it happened. You see the age of the person that was the victim, whether it was a child or an adult. You see what the offense was, the picture of them, most current, and every picture that they've taken, because not only when they have to register, they have to put in new pictures every so often. So you see from the
Right.
beginning when they first got charged all the way up to the most current one that they have.
Also, the fact that he violated parole or probation.
Yeah, he's a repetitive violator.
Shows a disregard for sentence, for probation. That
Right.
being said, he was charged with, I believe it was 6 years probation, which has left an additional 10. If it wasn't public knowledge, an additional 10 that he's been scot-free and free to reoffend.
I mean, it's not like that we done some major search for him.
Yeah.
To reoffend, but that speaks on him reoffending because he has no regard
Mhm.
for
Right.
his punishment. He actually showed on that panel that he had really no accountability for it. He
Right.
Yeah.
didn't learn anything.
He blamed the baby.
Mhm.
You know,
I'm sorry, that's a baby.
Yep.
public knowledge that these people are not ever going to
Stop.
change.
Yeah.
There's nothing
And-
that we can do currently.
No, and the fact that he's dealing with it the way he's dealing with it, no accountability, he's still dragging this victim through the mud,
Right.
still victimizing. I understand that all these years later, she's an adult now, but you're still victimizing her by putting it. We watched it. We heard what he said. You know, you're victimizing her even further by doing this.
Mhm.
And I again, how can anybody stand up and defend that?
I don't know. You try
Just
to wrap
try to-
your head
it really is.
around it, and I understand there's like a hate group, that goes after certain people. But
Mhm.
in times like these, this is where you say, okay, well, right and right is wrong is wrong, regardless of the hate you have for certain people.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not right, and what was done was right, but yet you're going to go against it because you hate the people that put it out. Had it been someone else, you might have went along with it and said, "Oh, good job." But since it
Mhm.
was all of us in purple who exposed it, then we're bad.
Yeah, that
That's where
doesn't.
it don't make no sense to
Yeah.
me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's why in my mind, I know. Like 6 Up, JBT, the Jerks. I get. There's this head button back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, whatever.
Right.
Traders, Nicolina, whatever.
Right.
But I'd always like to think that no matter what that head button back and forth is, 6 Up, JBT, the Jerks, and I'll say those 3 because we've heard some stuff.
Don't forget the tavern, because they were the ones going out today. Not only the other people
Oh.
were.
The tavern was coming out because it shouldn't have been exposed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
they were throwing at
serious?
it bad. Yeah.
I'm shocked on that one. I
Yeah.
am. That's very disappointing because I really thought no matter what, the back and forth goes on, that something like this, people would be like, hey, you know what? This needs to be exposed. Thank you for doing that.
Right.
Thanks for giving us a heads up. We'll make sure that we'll keep them out of the chats or deal with them however they deal with them, And that's really sad and disturbing to me that
Right.
there's a level of sickness out there that is beyond.
Ignorant.
It is. That's just really disappointing. Did Tammy do it, or was it just other people from the tavern?
Well, I heard it was on the tavern panel, so it was probably her chat and also her personally. So it was her panel. I'm thinking. I haven't got to watch it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to say. Hopefully, it wasn't. I mean, I haven't watched it or whatever, but I'm sure if it was out there, somebody's got clips of it. That's just really disappointing to me.
Right.
I don't know. I just.
Having been a parent myself that has went through 2 years of court to put a motherfucker away,
Right.
who is free now, whose victims live with repercussions I will expose him at every opportunity. I'll be hell bent to let somebody stop me.
Right.
Put your child in that place.
Mm-hmm.
Put yourself in that place of the parent.
If
The
my
vic-
background's loud, let me know,
the
okay?
victim that was close to me is almost 30 years old, still in counseling, or just now in counseling because
It goes back and forth,
back
yeah.
and forth.
Which you do need. It's you have enough counseling and you're done at that point. But with anything like that, they always say that, okay, you know what, you could be good for 10 or 15 years, but something happens, you just get to a certain point and all of a sudden you need more counseling again. And that's where she's at. Where
Back to it.
yeah,
You know?
It doesn't.
it's ongoing when needed,
Often victims don't connect things in their life, whether it's drugs, promiscuity, just a number of things.
Yeah, we was talking about this last night.
10 years out, 15 years out, before they connect it to that abuse, to that trauma.
Yeah.
And that's where she's at.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it is a lifetime
It is.
effect.
It is. So when they offend, and it's just a moment for them, right? Like I said, you're affecting someone for the rest of their life.
It's a lifetime for the victim.
I just don't understand how anybody. I really hope you were told incorrect. I really hope that people in the tavern are not.
I'm gonna have to watch it because I've got like 6 messages
for myself from any of the others that you mentioned. I have not. But
yeah. So, you know, when you say this is very personal for some of us. In other words, the subject matter is personal.
Mm-hmm.
And there are reasons why, you know, okay, yeah, you stand up and you fight and, you know, wow, I'm just really disappointed. I really hope that it was misunderstood.
I guess I'll see.
You know, I mean, I know the tavern can do a lot, but I really thought, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to understand it. Either way, you know, their mindset is not for me to understand. It's not for me to worry about. We're echoing again, Jenna. Did you drop your earbuds?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
is it me?
No. It was Jenna. Her earbud clicked off or something. Their opinions, you know, someone else's thoughts and opinions of you are none of your business, right? So they can keep their thoughts and opinions to themselves. You don't need to bring it over to my door because I don't really care about it, right? Whatever. But when you bring it to the door and you're like, knock, 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 here's what we think about you. And by the way, we stand and defend SROs against children.
I'm not saying they defend it, but their hate is so much for us that they can't look past the hate to see what was right and what's wrong.
And you know what? That's their problem. I will look past any kind of, I don't have hate for anybody. You know, I just have people I just don't want to be around and, you know, whatever, you know. You know, I just don't think, I don't have time in my life to hate a bunch of people. I can tell you that. I don't have a bunch of time to be like, you're my enemy. You know, I don't have time for that shit. You know, move along. It's fine. You don't have to like, I really don't care. You can think whatever, say whatever. It's fine. It's just mind-boggling to me that your disdain for someone is so much that you don't have any moral compass when it comes to what happens to a child. Because that's what it boils down to. It boils down to you don't have any moral compass of what's happened to a child because you just don't like somebody for whatever reason, right?
Right.
I can tell you this right now, no matter how much I don't like someone or my disdain for them, you know, I don't care. I will still stand up and tell you, hey, this person did this to a child, watch out. Let us be the bad guys, Jenna. I don't care. We'll be the bad guys. We'll stand up on any panel with you and anybody else, and we'll be the bad guys. If that makes us
Right.
bad and makes us wrong, I'm willing to be bad and wrong, okay? I'm willing to
Me
take it
too.
on. I'm good with that. So, and I kind of suspect, and this is just a hunch, you know, I think there's probably a lot more people that are supportive in the fact that you've called out and said, hey, this person is this, and they've been exposed. I think there's a lot more
Right.
people who want to know and be aware than there are who don't. And I think there's a lot more people who will not support an SRO, anyone who's gone after a child, than there are those who are supportive and say, sweep it under the rug, close the door.
Right.
Just a hunch, just a hunch. Just this little hunch there.
I'm sorry, I can't sweep it under the rug, and I don't expect anybody to sweep it under the rug, especially, you know, when we're in a community, you know, that you don't know what you're dealing with,
Exactly.
you know?
Well, you know, like I said, you came into a channel because Purple's channel, it's really, you can't really say it's a crime channel. You can't really just label it nothing but drama because she does so much on there, right? It's kind of a mixed match hogwash.
Monica says you have it wrong. What was said at the tavern, completely wrong. We in no way stood up for him
Okay.
or excused his behavior. And in capital letters, she states we wouldn't even give him a platform.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. See, Jenna, that was
Yeah.
wrong. That's why I said I hadn't watched it. I would really hope because, like I
Right,
said, no
haven't
matter,
watched it either.
yeah, that's why I don't. So I'm not going to sit here and say they did. It's just like, whoa, I can't believe that they would do that because this is a subject matter. No matter what quote unquote side you're on, doesn't matter. You know. So
Right.
thank you for not
That's
giving him a
really-
platform. Thank you for standing up and saying, hey, this is wrong. And
Right.
yes, I do think people need to know what this person is about and don't have them on your platform. That's to protect y'all. It doesn't matter what I think of the tavern. It doesn't matter what the tavern thinks of me. It does not matter. To me, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't matter any of it.
And then again, Yaya says I
Yaya
heard it
said-
differently.
Yeah, I
So
heard
it could
differently.
be, you know, different perceptions.
Yeah, it may just be, if especially because sometimes when you're watching something and you're listening, if there's any kind of noise in the background or any kind of thing that's been like if service is interrupted or something and you miss just the slightest little thing, it can come
Yeah.
off as a totally different conversation than what it actually is.
And people maybe
Right.
could watch individually and form their own
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Not
said I'll
for
watch
us
it when
to
I
make
get off here.
more of it.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm just stating what I was
At the end of the
told.
day,
I don't
we're
know
still
for a
gonna
fact.
Stand our ground on it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was, and I don't know, what I understood from it was they were saying that we shouldn't have exposed it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I understood it as, is that, this is what I was told, is that something about, well, they shouldn't have exposed it. They should have dealt with it behind closed doors, like KK had said.
Right.
That to me, that's my personal opinion on this. That is a no-no. Absolutely not. It's not something to stand behind closed doors because you know what? If we deal with it behind closed doors, the tavern would still not be known. It would not be known to them that he was an SRO of a child.
What I think
And-
is, it is a personal opinion, but it's an opinion that I will defend.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. 100% all day long defend it. If the tavern
All day.
doesn't think that we should have exposed it, well, that's, you know what, that's on you. However, you're also by saying that Monica did say in there that we don't even give him a platform. Because why? Because you know now he's an SRO, right?
Right.
How do you know?
Right.
Because somebody exposed it. So hopefully the tavern didn't say we shouldn't have exposed it. Yaya,
I'm reading
I don't know what
Yaya's
Yaya heard.
comment.
That, you know, that because that's backwards. If that's how it's going, that's backwards.
Right.
Because if you're saying you won't give him a platform because he's, you know, you're basically agreeing that he's, you know, he's scum, right?
Right.
But then you're going to say don't expose it. That doesn't work that way.
Right.
Okay, I was listening, unfortunately, because of what they said and did to Susan. I know what I heard. Oh, okay. Oh, that's true, Iris. He said nobody made him do anything. He's a dumbass and went up there and blamed it all on the girl. He sure did. He did. He
Yeah,
had to
yeah, I'll
hop on
watch
panel.
it.
He even said that Aves, if that's even true. Yeah, must have had your story wrong.
Guys, these people came.
I hope, Betty Boop. I hope that it was just a misunderstanding, because
Well, we'll see.
I really wish this is one thing that everybody could stand united on, and unfortunately, KK proved last night that she doesn't stand united with us, and it's okay. Not everybody has
Right.
to, but you have to understand when we stand and say absolutely not, and you can not agree with
Right.
us, or but that doesn't mean that we're going to agree with KK at all.
Right.
So you keep your nose clean. Don't go and offend children and have somebody find out about it, and we wouldn't even be having to have this conversation.
Right.
But you want to mess with a child, there you go. I don't know why anybody thinks that stuff should be hidden. Absolutely not.
Right.
That's exactly why this shit happens. Like I said, that's what happens behind the closed doors, is that kind of shit.
Well, Betty Boop, I'll watch it, and we'll all make our own.
Yeah.
We'll all make our own idea and thoughts about that. As long as it's not private, we can watch it and make our own opinion on what happened. So,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah. Well, Tara's saying they point blank said it. And see, that's why I'll be honest. I really did. That's why I said that shocks me that the tavern. I would think that group would shut it down. Honestly, that would be my. I really did. Just like with the Jerks and with JBT and Six Up, no matter what the differences are,
Right.
I guess I have more respect for them, thinking they're not gonna stand for this. They're gonna shut it down.
Right. If they had find out something about someone, I'd have more respect for them coming forward and saying, "Hey, this is what we know."
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because you don't know the predators who are amongst in your midst. You don't.
Right.
There's just no way possible for anybody to know that. We don't know. As soon as somebody new comes in, what do? Not just have anybody new welcome them in? No, it just doesn't go that way. It's what you do when you find out. When you do know.
I know,
yeah. Yeah, exactly, Seeker. I mean, he came up and he admitted to it. Wife sat there and said, he didn't do it, and then turned around and goes, yeah, I had. Are you serious?
Well, it seems to be all right in the YouTube world, in our sector anyway, to expose lies and in our disagreements, we're back and forth. I'm gonna expose this one for that, and expose this one for that. This wasn't a matter of that. This wasn't
YouTube bullshit drama, no offense, but I mean, it wasn't the back and forth, pitter patter stuff. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is like, to me, if you want to talk real life, this is real life. This is a predator who could hurt a child that's around any of us, and I don't want it to be any of our kids. I don't care how much somebody dislikes me or how much I dislike somebody. I don't want anybody's child to be subjected to someone like him, and that's the most important part, in my opinion. Like I said, everyone can have a different opinion and they can have their own thoughts on it. That's fine. You just go do you and don't expose someone. You let us do it for you when we find out. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I'll watch it and I'll respond on my panel. I'm not gonna do that over here. If it was.
Oh, well, there's the soup. Look, she says, I agree with it being exposed. It should be known he's an RSO. The only part I didn't like was him coming up, blaming the plant. Yes, he came up on there and blamed the girl. And that was disgusting. A 13-year-old child. You're putting this on. We all watched it. We know. And it was disgusting. And like I said, I don't have a problem at all exposing that. Like I said, we didn't just jump the gun and like that. Those first few minutes, go out and expose them, because that's what you want to do. We say, hold on, we've got to verify, make sure this is who this person is. Get the pictures, match them up, do this, do that. Get a little info that you can, and that's exactly what happened. And
I can see what Sue's saying there. at the end of her statement. The part that she didn't like was that he came up on panel and then was
Blaming her.
able also to blame the victim.
Yeah.
So in some people's opinions, he should have been blocked and not let up on that panel.
Yeah. Which,
We're not really caring about how he defends himself in this. He's already been vindicated.
yeah. But by having him on panel, I think, especially with him admitting to what he did, okay, it did. I think it kind of helps the situation where people can, now it's like, go ahead, say he's innocent. KK, go ahead, say he's innocent. He admitted to it on the panel.
I'm just saying that is a valid point that people don't disagree on.
And I mean, I didn't want him on panel. I really didn't. But again, it wasn't my channel. However, CJ wanted to have a nice little discussion with him, just like she did with Fat Nan.
Up on panel.
Yeah, and that's fine. But like I said, I think it did help. I don't know. It just helps if anybody wants to argue the fact that, oh, it wasn't him, or you're going after an innocent person. It didn't happen like that. Excuse me. It happened exactly like that from his own words. It may have different wording because he described it differently than what the judge describes it as, right?
Right.
Yeah. But he helped to prove his case. I can tell you this: I will never, and I've never been on a panel with him before, just because there was, other things I didn't really care for him, things that he had done, But I will never be on a panel with him again. And if he pops into somebody's chat, I will leave. And that's just not to support a channel holder or anything. It's just I don't want to be around someone like that. I just don't. So, all right, Jenna, are you gonna go live?
I think Purple's live right now. I'm gonna go live in a little bit. I gotta do a little bit of research.
Purple's live. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it because I'm gonna smoke the cigarette and I gotta go in and make my fabric softer and make dinner.
All right. I'll be live later on. I'm gonna wait to do what I need to do, and then I'll go live and address what I need to address.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And just if you get a chance, I guess go watch the tavern. And
I am.
They're
I'm
saying
gonna watch it and make my own opinion of it because I believe Heidi. I'm not gonna lie, I believe Heidi. So I guess we'll all take our own opinions on that. So.
Oh yeah, but you also have to remember too. This is my take on it: is just because one or two people had their own opinion on things doesn't mean they all shared that opinion.
Right.
And I know
one person. I'm only going to see who says something. It's the person that said something.
It's one or two people, but not everybody there stands with it or agrees with it. I mean, again, we have that on our, everywhere you go, that's how it is. So just making sure that we're holding accountable whoever it is who doesn't agree, or not holding accountable, but, make sure you're not blaming something on someone who
addressing
didn't.
The person that actually said something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will do that. So.
We got to be fair about it. If we want them to be fair with us, anybody, I'm not just going at the tavern or anything, any of them, if we want them to be fair with us, then we need to be fair with them as well.
Seeker.
That's how I feel about that.
Tammy's voice was dripping with contempt for us when I heard her say at the end how awful it was what happened over here last night. Not verbatim, but close. All right.
Okay. Yeah. And the soup, he is very disturbed. He's
really disturbed.
No. And I think anybody
who will go against exposing him.
Well, if they do, Jenna, then they do. KK already has. If they do, they do. Right. There's nothing we can do about it except for just stand our ground and keep going. And we go headstrong in what we believe is right. As long as we make sure we've covered our ass and making sure that we're not falsely accusing somebody, because that's a horrible thing to do. I think that we're okay. That's my opinion. So,
And that's what we did do. We made sure we didn't falsely accuse no one. So,
well, that's all we can do. And we're not the ones who did the act,
nope, we are not.
but we could easily have it be a child that we know or love that could be a
Right.
victim of someone like that. So
Right.
that's what would, that's all that the end game is for us. For me, that's the end game. The end goal here is
That's
to keep
it.
this man away from other children. So all we can do is start with what we know and protect those around us. Try to,
Right.
All right, like I said, I'm gonna jump off of here because I got
All right.
stuff to go do. And
All
the
right.
kids
I
are
love y'all.
probably getting rowdy in there. They're with dad, so you know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, love you. All right,
I love you too.
All right, bye bye. All right, guys, we've been good. Let's go check out Purple Slide. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll catch y'all later. And we go keep putting one foot in front of the other. And remember, you're worth it, guys. Send out love and support and kindness to everyone because you never know who needs to see that smile. So we'll talk to y'all later. Love you guys. Y'all have a great night.